You may remember the images that you're seeing now, or the video that you're seeing now, from episode 1, where we did the tour of the truck and Carl was going through and showing us around the state of everything. Now, I wanted to replay this again. If you've not seen that episode, please by all means go back and check it out. But this was the condition of the cab when we first got our hands on the truck. You can see the dash is all dusty, worn, dirty, grimy. Same with even the ceiling, the parts above it, the area where the tachograph card, the tacho reader would go in. There was like holes drilled through that you just saw for a speaker or something. The doors were all the same, the panels, the seats were all mucky and grimy, and this light grey was just so filthy, so dirty. Honestly, it was just an absolute mess. Not to even mention the little bit of carpet that you can see on the floor down there in the middle was just absolutely caked in mud and muck. So we decided that we needed to go to town on this thing, and that's what this episode's going to be. We started by removing the passenger seat. Obviously there's 2 seats there, but it's one whole unit. We removed that and then quickly got to work with removing the rubber mat, the carpet in the middle, and then we started looking at the passenger door as well. Everything we removed was scrubbed clean. The seat covers were removed and put in the washing machine and hung out to dry. We absolutely blitzed the whole lot. with the spray painting, I'm going to show you what we're using for the grey. It's worked really well and I'm so happy with it. It's a Rust-Oleum painter's touch. It's in a dark grey gloss finish. Now everything has had like 2 coats of this. So the first thing that we did is we cleaned everything off, we scrubbed it, we dried it, and then we made sure that any areas that needed it, we just gave a light sand, but a lot of the areas, a lot of the surfaces were textured, so we didn't really need to do a lot to those. Gave it a coat, let it dry, gave it a second coat, and everything's come up brilliant, as you can see. So really happy with this stuff. All of the products that we are using, there is going to be a link in the description for the video, so look out for that. If you need any other info, obviously just drop us a message, drop us a comment, and we're always happy to pass on information. So what I've got here is just a little example of what we're doing when we are carpeting the panels on the inside of the truck. So I'm using this 3M Super 77 spray adhesive. It's really easy to use. It dries pretty quickly. It sort of goes tacky after about 30 seconds after you spray it. So I'm going to do a little bit of this and just show you close up exactly how it works. So I have this piece of MDF here that I'm just going to glue this piece of carpet on. Now each side of this is it's a little different. Like this seems a little flatter, maybe not as nice. This is a little fluffier, and you can see sort of softer. So that's a side that we want showing, and we're going to glue this side down. So I'm just going to take the glue, you've got to give it a good shake, and then the idea is that you give both of the surfaces a spray. So any other areas that you don't want to get glue on, it's a good idea maybe to put, in fact I'll do that real quick, just to put something down. Now this carpet as well is like, it's a 4-way stretch carpet. It really is actually quite stretchy. It does move quite a lot. So when you put this stuff down, you've got quite a lot of room for wiggle, which is good. And also, even though when the glue, once it gets tacky and you stick it, you can peel it back up and then you can move it back down again. But I'm going to show you that right now. That nozzle has got some dried glue on it. Yeah, that's going okay. So the nozzle's not great on this. It's one I've used before, and then it's been sealed for a little while. We spray both sides. Just like that. And I always wear gloves because I want to feel when this is sort of tacky to touch. Initially it's going to just be a little wet. But I don't know if you can hear that. Like you can probably see it as well, it's starting to leave my finger marks on it where it's tacky. So the other side's about the same. You can see as I touch it, it wants to lift up with my glove. So I would always just start at one end, over here for example. Don't really want to be too gluey either for the carpet, but start at this end. And you can see it's almost looking a little short in this corner, but as we go, we're going to stretch it a little. And you see it pulls over enough to cover. You're smoothing out anything, any imperfections in there. Lovely, and that's on there great. And like I said, if you make a mistake, you can just sort of like peel it back a little and then just go again, stretching it more, and it's still going to stick down. It's really good stuff to use. It's really workable. The carpet and the glue, they work so well together. Easy as that, really. Lovely job. Yeah. So as you can see, we took all of the seats out, we took them apart, we took the covers off, washed them, stripped everything, cleaned everything inside, and then we put everything back together again with the seats. Now, I wasn't that happy with how they finished, so we did end up with some covers for them as well. Every panel, every pocket we could remove, every handle we did, cleaned out, resprayed. Now, you can also see that all of the door seals, the rubbers and everything were worn. This is just through general use, I believe. So we stripped all of them off, replaced them with brand new. Any areas on the floor when we exposed them from the carpets and the rubber mats, we de-rusted, and we also used some Hammerite on there as well. As you can see, when you look at it from these angles, it's just in such a mess. Everything has been ripped out, everything resprayed. The next thing to do really was to start piecing everything back together, because I'd taken so much stuff out. So all the rubber mats and the flooring went back in, and the seats started to go back in. The roof panel, the rear panel, all had been recarpeted and all going back in the new dark grey carpet. Now everything got a total overhaul. Every panel carpeted, every panel that needed spraying, respraying. We even did the press studs that you just saw for all of the panels that would go in. They got done in a black satin finish, which I'm really happy with. And then the driver's side floor mat, I ordered a new piece of rubber to cover over the holes, and then glued and clamped that in place, and then pieced everything back together. Seat covers back on, new gear stick as well, new cover for around the steering wheel as well. So for the most part, everything is done. There's a couple of bits to do. At the front, there's a panel that goes along that would house the tachograph reader, some speakers, and a couple of slots for extra spare things. That needs recarpeting and go back in, but everything else is done. Now, it's been left for probably a couple of months with nothing done to this since completion. It's a little bit mucky and a bit dusty inside. You can see behind me is the gap which used to go back through to the box itself. That needs finishing from the outside, but yeah, it's gotten a little bit dusty and a little bit sort of mucky, but after a good clean, it'll be looking absolutely fantastic. So I just want to say thank you again for tuning in. Everyone who's subscribed so far, thank you so much for your support. Loads more to come. I'm part way through completing the next video already, which is replacing the tail lights, the rear light clusters on the truck, and we go into a little bit more depth on this one for you to how we're doing things. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please give us a little like, a subscribe. It's always appreciated. Your support and your comments, always very welcome, and always greatly and warmly received. So thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.